Speaking of the actual gameplay, when you take a look at the SAC with the win over Bishop Luers in week 1 of the season, Snider has been in the driver's seat all season long to get that victory bell back for the first time since '05. The biggest test perhaps of the season for them is this Friday night at Chambers Field when it'll be Northside battling Snider. Both teams go in undefeated, playing very well. Right. What's your take on this ball game?
Well, certainly it's going to be a great game. Everybody in Fort Wayne is going to be out there unless you're supporting another team and you're at that game. I mean, the interest in this is just going to be incredible. What's very interesting about this matchup is Snider faces really just another test. I mean, they faced a test against Luers. They faced a test against Penn. Now they have another test. So it's not like this has been the game of the year that they've been focusing on for 3 and 4 and 5 weeks. This is just another week for those Snider kids, and they know what they need to do. And I really think Snider is stronger on both sides of the ball than Northside is. It's going to be a great game like last year's regular season game was, which Northside won 19-16. But I think Snider is stronger on both sides of the ball. They have a better offense. Now, Northside has an explosive offense, but consistently I think the Panthers are better offensively, and they're much better defensively.
You mentioned how it was just another big game for Snider. For Northside, this is their biggest game certainly of the season. So going in, is the onus kind of on them because they're trying to crack that top level of the SAC, which has belonged to Snider and Dwenger and Luers for year upon year? Is this a huge game for Northside because they're trying to take that step where they can be lumped in with that group of elite SAC teams year in, year out?
I think it's past tense. I think they've already taken that step. I think they are already regarded as one of the better teams in the SAC. Certainly this adds to their resume, though, and if they can knock off Snider. But I think last year, with all the wins they had, knocking off Snider, knocking off Dwenger, stopping the streak, I think that was accomplished last year. This is just more of a a cherry on top for Northside. They need to continue this positive momentum. But, Northside's allowed 23 points, at least 23 points 3 times this year. Snider's only done it once. And even if Northside does pull off this win this weekend, I almost said the upset. I don't know if it's an upset, but they still have a long road to go. They still have Luers, they still have Dwenger, they still have Northrop left. So they got a lot of tough games, whereas as far as the Panthers go, they just have Dwenger and Wayne left. And so, I'm sorry, Northside has Luers, Southside, and Northrop left, which are all going to be tough. But Snider has the easier road. If they can get past Northside this week, I think it's done deal. Snider wins the SAC.
I think one of the biggest things that Snider's going to be focusing on this week, Coach Tippmann will have these guys looking at, is controlling the big plays, because C.J. Jackson makes so many big plays with the arm, with the legs as well. Anthony Lanier's been great. Damon Gaston's been stepping it up in the most recent weeks. So how do you control Northside's potent offense if you're a Snider defense? And you mentioned it, Snider's defense has been fantastic, but they might not have faced a team as explosive across the board as this Northside team.
I disagree. I think Luers is every bit as explosive. I know C.J. Jackson's put up just fantasy-like numbers. He's got almost 1,500 yards of total offense. Anthony Lanier can run the ball. In fact, Anthony's great on both sides of the ball. But I think Snider will take the same approach to Northside as they did with Luers, in that they have to fly to the ball and they have to be disciplined on their angles. And so when you see a Northside guy get through, he won't have room to get through because there'll be 11 black jerseys there. If it's one guy trying to make a stop, and this is what Coach Tippmann, Weston Painter, Nick Reese, some of those guys told me after the Luers game, was if it's just one-on-one, then it's over. Guys like C.J. Jackson can go all the way. But there has to be 11 guys flying to the ball, and you have to be disciplined in your responsibilities and hold your blocks and let other people come in. So I think that Snider has already faced a team like this. They were successful, although Luers had a chance to win the game late. So I think that they're better prepared for this.
Your prediction, I'm thinking you're Snider, going Snider.
Absolutely. I think Snider will actually win by about 10 points.
Really? I think it'll come down to special teams, and Josh Spitnail may be the key.
If that's the case, Snider has the advantage.
We'll have to see. I think it'll be right there at the end.